You're in Braves country.
Good morning. Welcome to Braves Country. Today, it is June 3rd, 2021. We're coming to you a couple hours before first pitch. This is going to be a really short show because we've got an early game, and we're just going to dive right into it as the Braves lose again. But it's not all doom and gloom, y'all. It really isn't. We're still early in the season. We're in the middle of a bad, we'll say, I don't know, a bad stretch of about 20 games. I would say that we've been playing kind of half-ass. You'll get a good night, you get a bad night. They haven't put it all together. I do think the pitching is going to get better as the season goes on. So I do have a lot of belief in this, but I will say this, they're 4.5 games out of first place now. The Mets begin a 4-game series in San Diego tonight. We need San Diego to jump on them. Now, San Diego has not been playing good baseball. They were just swept by the Cubs. Hopefully that motivates the Padres and they get up off the mat and go to town on the Mets. We would love to see a sweep, but I would take 3 of 4 because the Braves are going to their next 4 games. Today, we've got Washington finishing up that 4-game series, and we've got to get the W. We'll get into that game in a second. But then after that, the LA Dodgers come to town. I am happy that we're playing Sunday afternoon. Sunday, what is it, 1:20 first pitch? That's an advantage because that's 10 o'clock in the morning out on the West Coast. So the Dodgers might be a little groggy, a little jet lagged. I wish the Saturday game was early, but anyways, they'll play tomorrow night. They'll play Saturday night, and then Sunday afternoon. It is not the Sunday night game of the week. Thankfully, Red Sox and Yankees are doing battle, and so that's going to take precedent on ESPN. I'm happy with that. I really don't like the Sunday night games, mainly because you get the terrible coverage, and so it's not that I hate the night game. It's the fact that I don't like listening to A-Rod try to explain to me how baseball be played. It's brutal. And I'm not the biggest fan of Matt Vasgersian because I think he's kind of cheesy. When you watch him on MLB Network, he's constantly got the sound machine and constantly doing thinks he's these clever. It's just nauseating. The first year he did the stupid sound machine, I could deal with it. Now we're in year like 5 or 6. It's like, dude, get a new shtick. I keep hoping for the day we find out that he's left MLB Network and we get more Harold Reynolds and less Matt Vasgersian, but that's a different show for a different day. By the way, any Red Sox, Yankee fans, Rays fans, we begin an American League East show today, and that'll be on YouTube live at 10 a.m. Eastern. Teamus Wooten, Sergeant Teamus Wooten of the U.S. Army is going to be on there, and we've also got a Yankee fan coming as well. So should be a lot of fun doing that this summer. We've already got the Chicago baseball show that's on Saturdays, and that's the neighborhood play where they talk White Sox and Cubs. Okay, today let's talk about the Braves. Let's talk about the terrible loss again last night. It's getting ridiculous at this point. Every day I got to come up with a new way to explain why the hell we just lost another game that we realistically should have won on paper. Yesterday, Smiley, I mean, he wasn't totally terrible. He pitched okay. We just have higher expectations for him because he was one of our big gets in the free agency market this year. And let's be honest, no one's talking about this, but let's be honest. let's call a spade a spade. AA has done a terrible job at free agency these last few years. He brought in Cole Hamels. What did he get? 3 innings out of him? He brought in Smiley, who is below average at best. He's like a 4 or 5 starter. He's not a guy that you bring in and go, oh, there's something right there. So he has been just junk. For the same price, you could have had Melanson back and Taijuan Walker locked up for 3 years for the same price annually. You think about that. We paid Drew Smiley the same amount that Taijuan Walker and Melanson are going to get collectively this year. So that's asinine. And then the Marcell Ozuna situation. Look, I can't blame him necessarily. There should have been some kind of clause in that damn contract, though, because of the violent nature that went down between those two. And I'm talking about the Ozuna couple, where she put hands on him last year. So why the hell are we going to give AA a pass? And at some point, you've got to hold Snicker's feet to the fire. He has done a terrible job coaching this team. Unfortunately, this was brought up on Twitter last night. I don't think he's going anywhere anytime soon because he's going to get a pass for that half-ass season we had last year where he was looked upon doing a great job because of the terrible pitching that AA put behind him. I'll be on record. I don't care. I'm not a Snicker fan because I don't feel like he goes out to win games. I feel like he worries about the 162 game of keeping everybody healthy and happy and blah, blah, blah. And basically he is still coaching in the minors on the major league level. When you get to the major league level, you got to go for W's. You got to go out there and use your bullpen a couple of nights ago when you had a chance to stay in a game and probably would have won it if you would have dumped out your bullpen. Last night, 8th inning. I'm going to go back to last night's game real quick. Last night, 8th inning. The Braves. They go in and they put in Minter in the 7th inning. He gives up the home run. The game was tied. They had just tied the game in the bottom of the 7th. The game was tied. So you have the 8th inning and the 9th inning to try to win that thing, right? The game is tied. Why the hell aren't we seeing Martin in the 8th and in the 9th, Will Smith? Those are supposedly your 2 best pitchers. You haven't overused them. You haven't hardly played any baseball in the past week. So the game is tied, and they put in Minter. Minter's not terrible, but he does give up the home run. The point is, why are we not using our big guns? Minter should have been looked upon as, if we have to go to extra innings, then we go to Minter. Because Washington was unloading their big guns. They used Hudson. They used Rainey. They used Hand. Granted, they were never down, but the point is that the game was tied and they had their big guns in. When Atlanta scored the 2 runs in the bottom of the 7th, that's when they brought in Hudson to try to put an end to it. I want to see more of that out of Snicker. What the hell are you doing? Are you trying to win games or not? These are divisional games too. Anyways, today, like I said, we're going to make this short. Today, we're going to be looking at the Nats one more time. And today, Tucker Davidson comes back to the fold. He will get the start. 12:20 first pitch. Looking forward to that. Hopefully we can get a W. It's going to be going up against Corbin. And Patrick Corbin has been up and down all year long. He's a guy that I believe that the Braves can get to. You're probably going to see a right-handed heavy lineup today, I would say Contreras is probably starting because he was benched yesterday. I believe this is why he was benched. Looking at today's lineup and seeing Corbin on the mound. Corbin, real quick, by the way, this is what he's looked like this year. Okay. In the last several starts, he had 5 innings, 4 earned runs against Milwaukee, 5 innings, 4 earned runs against Baltimore, 5 innings, 3 earned runs. Are we seeing a pattern? He pitched a great game against Philly, and he pitched a decent game at the Yankees. But all in all, people have been able to put up a 4, a 3, a 3, a 3, a 2, a 4, a 3, a 9 earned run. Now, that was the beginning of the season. Beginning of the season, he was a train wreck. You can get to Patrick Corbin. He was a $138 million guy, but he is not what you would call an elite starting pitcher. They signed him to be a very, very, very good number 3. He's really more of a so-so number 4. So the Braves have a definite good chance of winning this. Get the bats on the ball, put the ball in play. And for the love of God, can we stop with all the shifting that loses us ball games? Whatever happened to good old double play depth when a guy's on first? What the hell do we got to overshift? And Starling Castro just puts a dribbler through. Next thing you know, it's first and second or first and third, nobody out. Because Freddie Freeman's he's not an NHL goalie. He can't stop everything going on that side of the field. It's asinine. We'll see you tomorrow. Go Braves. Got to get the W. Split this series because we got a tough one against the Dodgers, and we'll get into that tomorrow. Have a great day, y'all. 12:20 first pitch. Come on, Hotlanta. Get a W, baby. Come on.
You're in Braves country.